Alright, what is up guys? Korg has been released as the new champion, and personally I haven't encountered him in war yet, but he seems to be an amazing and annoying defender. So in today's video I'm going to cover these few points. Firstly, how to fight him, then how to evade his specials, and lastly go through the top 5 champions that in my opinion are the best to go up against him. So first, let's learn the basics of how to fight an awakened Korg and also pretend that he's immune to stun for some added difficulty. First off, the tactic here is to bait out his heavy, swipe back once, and dash in for a medium, light. Repeat the same move, but this time round finish your combo with a medium, since his rock shield has been shattered and you won't receive any damage back. The second method to shatter his shield is by intercepting him with a light attack when he makes a dash towards you. And doing this allows you to remove 2 rock shield charges, but you must be somewhat decent in intercepting. So if you're not, you can try using the backdraft intercept. So just simply dash in and attack his block, swipe back once and use a light attack. However, doing this will increase his crowd excitement by 1 since he got hit when blocking, and do take note that when he reaches 6 or more, he goes unstoppable and his attacks are unblockable for 2 seconds. Now let's move on to evading his specials. For his SP1, you'll have to swipe back early in order to evade the projectiles, and your first dash back has to be done before Korg sets his right foot down. Right here you can see that I've swiped back and it's still off the ground. That's because almost immediately after, the first projectile will be fired, and dashing back on the exact timing will result in getting shot by the second and third. You will be able to dash in afterwards for a 5-hit combo, and do take note that whenever his crowd excitement is more than 1, his SP1 will be unblockable. I always seem to forget about that, so yeah, I got clipped by it quite a few times during duels. For his SP2, since he spins forward in the beginning, you should be able to easily bait it out at a distance, and you have to not hold block so that the AI would assume that it can hit you. So by dashing back slightly earlier, you are essentially baiting his SP2 while also trying to prevent him from gaining 3 crowd excitement when avoiding his basic attacks. And for the top 5 champions, coming in at number 5, it is Iron Man Infinity War. He's at the bottom of the list because his damage relies on debuffs like Shock, Incineration, and Armor Break, and it's gonna be one hell of a long fight since Korg has a certain percentage to shrug off debuffs whenever his shield is up. So yeah, if you happen to meet one that has willpower in Alliance War or is debuff immune, it's gonna be super tough to bring him down. So yeah, here I have a gameplay of my rank 3 4-star Iron Man, and the good thing about him is that his first medium deals energy damage, so going in for your combo isn't gonna be a problem. And he also has a 24% chance to gain armor up passive when attacking or blocking, which is great, so you'll receive lesser damage if you're using the holding block tactic to attack him. But the downside is that you have to constantly use your SP2 or 3 since SP1 inflicts shock and Korg is immune to that. So yeah, the fight goes on for another minute and a half, and this, I would say this isn't a fair test to Iron Man Infinity War because he's only at rank 3, while the rest of my champs that I tested out were mostly at rank 4 or maxed out. So yeah, he might not be at the bottom of the list if you have a rank 4 or rank 5 or maybe a 5-star version of him. And I believe if you have that, combine the armor break debuff and your incineration damage, it should be dealing more damage than the health that he regens from willpower. So as you can see, it's dealing 163 and he regens 263 health. So yeah, not exactly the outcome that I wanted, and I believe I made a mistake at the end part of the fight. I attacked into his block when he had 5 rock shield charges, so that immediately made him unstoppable and unblockable, and he could have easily counter me at that point of time, but it's all good because I think when he's unstoppable and unblockable for 2 seconds, and if you bait is either his SP1 or SP2, you should be able to have the time to go in afterwards. So yeah, I believe I knocked him down after this SP2. Alright, so that is the first champion that I'm going to talk about. The next one, which is coming in at the top 4, is none other than Doctor Strange. All of his basic attacks are energy based, so you don't have to worry about getting the Thorns damage back like Iron Man Infinity War. And the reason why he's only at top 4 for me is that he's only available as a 4-star and not a 5-star one. And I believe that at this point of the game, I don't think that Doctor Strange, anyone will be bringing him into a war just to fight a super buffed up rank 5 65 Korg. But overall, he's still very decent at countering him. He's able to regen when his power gain passive buff is on, and to get the maximum amount of damage, the idea is to get to your SP2 and use it whenever his passive Fury Up buff is up. Coming in at 3rd place is Dormammu. His attacks are energy based as well, so the only difference is that he's able to power control Korg, and that is great for those who find his specials too difficult to evade, like his SP1. So I feel that Dom's playing style would be just like fighting any other enemies, you know, push them to the corner, use a SP1 to bring him down to the ground, and then intercept once more when he gets up. And since I'm comfortable evading the SP1 in the fight, you'll see me baiting his SP1, rinse and repeat, and down he goes. At 2nd place, there's actually 2 characters, and I know I'm totally biased because I have him as a 5-star. I actually wanted to leave Blade out of this list since I know Korg is immune to bleed, but I believe if given to the hands of a good player who actually knows how to time perfectly when to use Blade's SP2, it's very easy to shatter the rock shield, and also he's able to regen when using the block tactic. So yeah, sharing the 2nd spot is Iceman. With the class advantage, mutant champs are able to take 25% less damage from thorns, and Iceman's SP1 will be able to cancel off 3 shield charges. So along with the cold snap and frostbite damage, Iceman is as good as the #1 spot champion to take down this annoying defender, just that he lacks one thing. Some honorable mentions are Bishop, Hyperion, and many others who I missed out. Hyperion's SP1 is able to take off a total of 6 shield charges, just that the first hit is actually physical, and the plan is to actually bait out as many SP1 as possible while I get to my SP3. I believe this is the last SP1, so I bait it out and I use a SP3 to shatter his shield again, because I wanted to test out if it's possible to connect with a heavy immediately afterwards, and it did, so all is good. And I messed up the SP1, so afterwards I tried it again, but unfortunately it didn't connect, and he could have just punished me right there with a SP1, but he didn't. So yeah, Hyperion may or may not be the best counter to Korg. I'll leave that to you, since he couldn't connect the heavy and gain the fury buffs. So the #1 spot goes to Dr. Voodoo. He's able to choose between power control or damage dealing, and I chose to go ahead with damage dealing in this fight, and you'll see that I will spam as many SP1 as possible to get him down ASAP. And another thing about him is that he's able to regen at the start of each fight. So yeah, that's the one thing that makes him better than Iceman, and I think the regen is able to heal you up for about 15 to 20% depending on your own mastery. And you see that after his SP2, I'll just go full ham on him with my SP1 and get an intercept afterwards, go ahead with another SP1, and fortunately I was able to get an intercept afterwards. So yeah, that is it. I hope this video helped you guys out, and let me know who are your favorite champions to counter Korg. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Adios.